be flexible with MGOL.
Yeah, I was just looking, MGOL, interesting name there for sure. So I have Dell written on here on the sticky note here. I just said dips into VWAP because that's generally, I'm gonna play this kind of like, not like an earnings play, but like a catalyst that could easily get sold off as well. So right now, VWAP's not gonna mean anything. We're taking in consideration these big prints here. So right now it's at 153 and change. Let's just let this settle down a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back into 150. All Elon Musk did was already confirm what Dell's already told us. I mean, their racks, their servers, everything's being used all over the place for all of these servers. So yeah, XAI's using them. I feel like that's important to know. So it just justifies what we already do know about Dell. I mean, Dell, although we got that dump off there on earnings, it was just ripping from February of $80 up to $180. It was more than double in a matter of months there for Dell. And the story was exactly what the story is today. Customers are buying them. Dell continues to be a great story. I don't know what exactly we want to do up here at these highs, so I'm not going to break the long. But it's up 4% and looking amazing. So I really want to be into Dell. I just feel that this news is not something that we should pretend is new. It's just, it does justify where Dell's trading. And that's it. It's a good story. We can now believe them, obviously. Bouncing off the 50 period is really strong. I like Dell back here. I'm right now bidding 150. I don't think we fall $5, but if it does come through, I want to get the long. So like 150.50. We'll see if we can get a bid down there. But we do want to keep Dell definitely up on a screen here because if you're going to trade names with Catalyst, this is a good one. We like the story in AI. We like the story with the chips, and Dell continues to be a big part of that. I don't trade SMCI, so I feel like SMCI, the same kind of story, but just maybe with options as it's a $1,000 name. So pullbacks in, if you're gonna do the same type of thing, it's 920. So there's the gap fill back to 920. It's the same fill back for Dell to 150. So 920 SMCI, 150 for Dell.
Another one continuing to benefit from this move in AI overall, TSM just marching higher as well. If you go back to the end of April, I guess, 120, 125, all the way to 185 at this point, gapping up for the third straight day in a row here. A number of analysts with positive things to say. Bernstein, one of those, maintaining outperform on TSM, $200 price target from Bernstein, 15 bucks or so to go, according to them. There's a few other ones. I mean, there was that note a couple days back on the packaging side of things. They've developed new ways to package these, or more efficient ways to package these semiconductors that they are making. And they've also increased their prices, I think, which is more key on that front to not only get them out the door efficiently and quicker, but making more as they do so.
Taiwan semi definitely on a lot of analysts' mind. We've seen consistent price target increases over the last few weeks here. And with regards as well, a little more details on that packaging story. Nikkei Asia reporting that apparently TSM is going to be collaborating with some equipment and material suppliers on their new packaging technique. It could, however, take several years to commercialize, but that in the works in addition to all of these positive analyst notes. So yeah, we'll have to see where TSM goes from here, but that 120 to 185, quite the journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive to say the least. Yet another daily chart looking the same, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes it can be a little bit of a broken record to talk about if you like a stock and you're looking to get into it or you're looking to add to a position, whatever it might be. You take the opportunity that's given to you, not the one that necessarily you think is perfect. Because there were multiple opportunities to buy dips in TSM and probably a host of other names, but it is what it is. You got to move past that. Now that you're at these highs, it just doesn't feel. Look, the reaction that this had to 185 and why I'm kind of preferring Dell is just this pullback off 185 to lose 180 on Tuesday, right? So you had a pretty hefty pullback off this level, and until you're breaking it back out, I just don't love it as much. So it has to be holding $185 on the bid, and if it can do that, I think I'd be a little bit more inclined to want to be in TSM. So the manner in which it traded off of that high, I feel it distinguishes itself a little bit from Dell. Like Dell made a move 146 and topped to 154 and then pulled back half the move, as opposed to TSM in the case here where, it made the same kind of similar breakout into a fresh high and then kind of gave it all back So I just don't love it as much. And you can talk about stocks being overvalued, TSM trading at a premium to its, the ADR trading at a premium to the actual, but you're just here to follow price action. So I'm not a huge fan. It has to hold out the 85 level on the bid. Then I'd be interested in the long there. I know the chip names and AI names we'll be playing today. NVIDIA, AMD, Dell in the pocket as well. I'm a maybe on ARM. The TSM, unless it's holding 185, no.
I'm still trying to remain the same, and if I'm going to look negative on a stock here today, not that TSM is negative, I mean, I like TSM, but in the space, now AMD's starting to go back up to the upside. It looks like NVIDIA is starting to go downside a little bit right here, so just to look at these names, I was going to say try to short AMD, but again, I don't want to forget about SMH. We've been trading that pretty good lately. Another name in the space that not all of us are looking at. Like, we can keep going over all of these different names. I think SOXL or SMH, I mean SOXL is the other way. There's many different ETFs that we could trade on this. So this is just another one. I just, looking at some of these, you're just gonna get a little bit of a better return on a triple or a double levered ETF in case something does start to come back in to the downside. So right now, I'm just looking over here. I mean, TSM's been, again, another rocket ship. It's the second most popular holding or weighted holding in the SMH. And again, another big move for Taiwan Semi, looking to take out that top of 185. So I'd still say stay long on these names, but again, feel like it's a little early here right now. We're in NVIDIA. You can see it's starting to go down. I don't necessarily want to average into this. We've already gotten a fill down here on NVIDIA at 139.60. So now we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for that 138 to come in and watch out for NVIDIA right here off the open as imbalances are just minutes away.
All right, Meta. We'll wrap things up here real quick with Meta. $500. If you zoom out on a daily chart, you'll see why that's important. Been a pivot for the past couple of weeks, gapping back above it this morning after spending all day, going back to Tuesday, trying to get through it from beneath. But here we are, back to 502, 503 here for Meta.
Nice little price target increase here from KeyBank this morning, 475 to 540, maintaining an overweight rating, basically saying that they're seeing a, quote, meaningful uptick in Meta's ad prices, amongst other things. So META getting this price target increase above 540 as the stock tries to climb up that level. Making
session lows as we speak here, though. Guys, what do you think, Meta?
Well, you might have just said it, like 500. There's a reason why that's going to be in there, but I'll go a little bit of a step further than that. The 500 has been a good, it's not a pivot point, because I know a pivot point is an actual technical term. So 500 isn't technically the pivot point, but if you look at the chart, it has been a good turning point for the stock. If you look at it 2 days ago when it finally held the 500 and consolidated above, look at how big the breakout was. So this is it holding 500 on a dip, and there's it breaking back out. So if it does something like that on 500, great. Otherwise, well, 495, 496 looks pretty good to me down here on Meta. And then you can very clearly see 510, 511 up top. That's a range-bound trade. So, if 510, 511 shows up, I think that's a pretty reasonable curl spot. Look for short. If you see underneath 500, I think you got to wait for 495. That 500 level only matters if you see the right action off of it, because it's blown through it twice and not even cared. It's just a matter of, here it blew through it, then held underneath when re-challenged. That made it a short. Here it came back up. Once it broke back above, it then held over it on a consolidation. So you look for a long. Sometimes you just have to wait for action off a price level. Other ones, you can see support and go for it. So 500 is not that sit on the bid level. I think that's down in the mid 490s, at least for myself. And then as far as NVIDIA goes, it's too late to show you now, but there was 100,000 on the offer at
They put the
at
139.60.
They just broke that order. I was adding in front of the pre-market low, where I'm getting out. It's not really the pre-market low, but the afternoon, the 7 o'clock low, let's call it 139. Technically, it's lower in the pre-market, but the 139 was my out. So when it consolidated higher, that's where I got some in. When it broke that order, I took some out here at VWAP in front of 140. So if it breaks 139, I'm going to be out of the stock. If it holds, probably take another profit take in front of the pre-market high, and then just look for trend longs when it comes to this name. But Meta, I think that's a name you just got to be patient with. Some of these big cap tech names have been relatively range bound. And when they are,
I waited to not.
I think diddling in the middle too much is just going to get you in trouble. You diddle in the middle when you're buying a strong trend.
Okay.
You know, if you don't, in the absence of that, you wait for the key prices, which I'm not sure that 500 qualifies. The 95 for sure. The 95 level, yes. The 510 level, yes.
Nice.
Look, we hit Meta real good
Thanks for that,
on
man.
Friday, and I mean this was sort of the start of the trade. I don't think I talked about it anymore, but we hit 500 to the downside, and then we averaged it in, and then we're able to get that huge move down. And by the way, NVIDIA's moving around, the imbalances are out. It just went back
I
to
need to
flat.
buy back
broke
these
through
covered calls
140, came
immediately at
back.
market open for
And then
NVIDIA
we shorted
before I
Meta
execute
right
on my
into
shares.
here, and we got this 495 print. So we had Meta off
Yeah,
there,
that's where
and right when we guys
fucking
left, we were talking about
buying
looking
some
at Meta
covered calls
at
ain't
11 o'clock
good.
there on Tuesday. We were able to get it up here in and around 501. So we actually shorted up here at the 50 period at the time and brought it all the way back in. And I remember telling the story about how Obi was like, maybe you just hold that one, and we did, and we were able to get that $6 or $7 winner on Meta. So we'll look to see about doing that again. I'm not super interested until it comes into 500, but that's going to be coming pretty quickly right now, as the Nasdaq has not been able to gather any steam whatsoever today. It's not even like a violent move down, it's slowly dripping. Like when we opened the show, it was up 0.4, and then it's like 0.3, 0.25, where we are right now. So just a little bit of a slow grind back into the downside there off that number at 7:30 or at 8:30, 7:30 Chicago time. So let's wait to see now what happens with all of this. I mean, my attention early will be on NVIDIA, obviously, as we're into that one with only a minute left, or less than a minute left. Adara will be there in just a couple seconds to ring the bell. But early looks at NVIDIA on dip buys into 138. We'll have to watch out for that. Palantir on my radar as well for a dip into maybe, I put a bid at 26.10, but now the 200 period is starting to get upside, so maybe we have to get a little bit more aggressive than that, but still watching Palantir. And Dell's at 157, so
It's
I think you could forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for dip buys in Dell, you might not get them. It is what it is, but with only 20 seconds to go, we'll get to Apple right off the open. But Apple trying to go green here on this Thursday, as it was
Really?
relatively weak. It's bouncing off 213. I didn't see an imbalance on it, but it just bounced $1 off the bottom. Let's ring that bell in 3, 2, and 1, Adara. And we are open. Just very quickly, Apple did dip all the way down into 2 days ago, the 213 level, looking like a decent one for Apple. I kind of thought 212 today, but the 213 looking good. We still like Apple. We're still fans of it. Dell trying to pull back a little bit here as NVIDIA is retesting the 139 level.
Yep, 139 and change coming in for Dell. We'll still, like I said, we'll still wait to see what we can do with this name for NVIDIA. All right, so GameStop. NVIDIA, we're waiting for 139. We can talk about that. Whoa, what up with that? Palantir, huge move down. Like, I don't know what's going on with Palantir. Let's see. It is making that move down as the Nasdaq's not doing much. Palantir just cracked into 26. So that just dropped 50 cents immediately off the open. Now, interesting levels coming through here. For Palantir, we are starting to head to the downside now. So let's just be careful with it. We do have NVIDIA as well. So a couple good pickups. We're long NVIDIA right now at 139.60, and we're long Palantir here at 26.08. So 10 cents out of the money here on PLTR. 25.80, that bottom wick, something kind of interesting down there for me right now as well. What's up, Adara?
SoundHound, another AI name here to keep an eye on. This is a small cap here, S.T.U.P.I.D. You might remember this ticker because it was announced in mid-February that NVIDIA invested in them. SoundHound today, a couple minutes before the open here, announcing that they've acquired key assets from Allset. So keep an eye on S.O.U.N. here, 21+% short float. So S.O.U.N. on watch, guys.
So this is just very, very quickly, just to show you guys what happened. NVIDIA bounced off 39 a couple of times. I was taking longs in front of 39. I just got in the 50 fill a couple of times there, and the last break got you to 80s. So it wicked the 80 level. I got out. It just bounced again off that 80 level, and I went back in above that 39. The stop is still going to be underneath the new fresh low. So now I'm out of it under 39. We want a 39 bounce. 39 does not hold, at least in the time being. If it's going to be a long again, going to have to look for another level down or for 39 to reestablish itself. Unlike other dip buys, this is one I would take a couple of cracks at this particular level. Apple is right back into that 13 level, starting to come back through. So Apple also heading in lower. I did want shorts on AMD. But I feel like we say this every single time at the open on advanced micro devices. It's not really doing anything. At 59 level is what we want, so we have to be patient. I wanted to short pops in AMD. There are no pops to be shorted on this stock right now.
No siree. All right.
Tesla just
Tesla is too much Tesla for you, or
just
no?
tank
Not
$3.
really? Okay, it does tank $3. Not bad. All right. So Palantir. I mean, we're long at 2604. This has been a pretty violent name here today. So let's start to ring the register. Oh, we just tried to get out 08s and it completely stopped on a dime. All right, NVIDIA, man. Here we go, baby. Let's go. Let's get this stock rocking right here. Just a couple hundred shares on board now for NVIDIA. Long at 139 flat right there on NVIDIA. We said that we wanted to stick with this name, so that's what we're doing. NVIDIA upside move. We wrote down 138 as a stop problem. 99 problems right now. NVIDIA ain't one, as it's a monster. We just got to get above. We just offered 50 and got missed there. There it goes. Nice move back upside for NVIDIA. Hey man, could we have the first Dollar Club winner with NVDA? Let's see if we can get that back in the pocket right now. NVIDIA really cooking, man. We stuck with it. And again, sometimes you watch these stocks just continue to fall to the downside. Today, let's see if NVIDIA continues to climb higher. And right there now, 70 cents in the money. Come on, NVIDIA, man. We don't hold enough all the time, but this time we hopefully will be able to do that. As here it goes, man. We are almost that Dollar Club now on NVIDIA. Let's go. Keep going to that upside, my guy. See if we can take out 140 and then just continue the plan of action. The number one trade on here is Palantir. We'll still hold on to that. But here we go right now. It's a big one. It's NVIDIA, and so far, so good. What's up, Rivian Millionaire and everybody out there that has this with me? It's 139.80, and there it is right there. It is your first Dollar Club member of the day, and it's going to be with NVIDIA unless, you're out of that one. And Palantir is what I'm trying to get at right now. This is falling the other way. So we'll be like net flat right now pretty much as we try to battle with Palantir.
Yeah, I'm out of NVIDIA. I'm back on the bid at the 39 level if it wants to come in there, but I'm not going to chase it too far. It's still in the same range. If it makes a break, the local high was $140, so there's always a 140 breakout to be had. As it comes back in here, Tesla's at that number, that 182, so it just tagged the 182 level. We said wait for 182 on Tesla, so we waited. Now you're getting a bounce off of this level, gonna grab the longs out in front. Now, if it continues to trend down, then we've got the level that we wanted and we did not compromise. I just want to quickly, I'm back in NVIDIA off the 139 level. GameStop starting to go for anyone interested. GameStop starting to head into the upside. We'll probably have to break 25 to look a little bit more enticing, but it is making a power move in there. Dell, I think we're just going to have to adjust plans on Dell. Obviously, we're not going to get 150s. We're not going to get maybe the pre-market low could still come into play, but it just dipped down to 155 and bounced. That pre-market support was at $153. So you're just going to have to step up whatever the higher low is going to be at this particular point in Dell. As far as AMD short, it's starting to rally. So that 159, whoops, there we go. It's starting to rally, so that 159 is going to be annoying that these are the same price. That 159 coming into play on advanced micro device. Not there yet. It's at 158.30. I'm sitting offer in front of 59s.
All right, we just got a nice one there. Let's go face slap up a little bit with Palantir. I said, remember, I was like, oh, Palantir's a problem and NVIDIA's not. Now Palantir's not a problem and NVIDIA is trying to become that for me. So we'll have to wait now for all of these to sort of fill out a little bit here. So there goes Palantir. We're long at 26. That was kind of the plan. It did dip down into the 80s. We were trying to give it to 26.50. So now we got to let this thing float. I mean, hopefully we get something in the teens and then in the 20s because we need at least 20 cents here because we did hold that 20 cents against us. So let's see if this can get back up to the upside. We don't use those ratios with NVIDIA because, this name could go up $2 in a straight line. You don't want to hold something $2 against you if it gets too violent. So again, this name not super violent today. We're really happy trading NVIDIA over the last couple days. So let's just continue to hold on to this. We do have our target outs in downside at 138. So Google, we marked down 174 as a possible bid. That name got going real good here. The market actually, we might have to look out for some of this. The market might go red, which would not be a good sign which would not be a good sign for a day like today. I'm at 16s right now. It's at 13s. You know what? All right, I'm just going to put something at 12 then. We just missed it. Let's see if we get run through at 12. We're actually on a paid gateway, so it needs to print all the way through in order for us to see. I'm not even getting a fill yet. Did we just get that? No, we did not. Sometimes, there it goes, now got it. So there's a nice fill for us on that one. We'll props it up for anybody trading PLTR with us so far here today. But yeah, so far so good. Just trying to hold on to some of these trades. You know what was another name that we were both looking at that sort of got going and no opportunities to buy it back? Dell still ripping right now. Come on, market. If the market can bounce, man, OMG, we'll be doing pretty good.
So we didn't reverse in Tesla from on that 82 level. Probably would have worked out pretty nicely, but headed down to 180. We said 82 and 80. I didn't reverse. I did attempt to reverse, I should say, but I didn't actually get the fill. We have to use two orders. One to get out, and then one to try to get back into position on the other direction. It is flushing, still heading into the downside. The 140 level is still proving to be a little bit of a concern for NVIDIA, not getting past it. It also happens to be VWAP, so I'm gonna cover some in front of that, and then we're gonna play the range. If it keeps bouncing down here, takes them out and then reload, rinse and repeat over and over. Apple has bounced nicely off of 212, right back into 214. This is looking relatively strong here for Apple on that little reversal play. We didn't get that long. We're going for Tesla at the 182 level first, and AMD wants to challenge the resistance from Friday. I want to say, well, sorry, that's Monday. Monday's resistance right up here. So Monday's resistance is where I want to be out of the stock. Needs to curl here for any kind of an ad. So we're range bound on NVIDIA, that 139 to 140 level. Tesla, I think a 182 short is going to work inside of this range here. And AMD going counter trend to the market. Although it's done this in the past and then usually ends up falling. It did this before. You had to be willing to give it a couple of shots. That was on Friday when it did that couple of tests at 161. So you got to be patient.
And we told you it didn't matter who's sitting beside us, right? We did it on Friday. We did it on Tuesday. Neil right now back. Good luck for me again coming through here today as we talked about luck, right? And luck is not something that you want to sort of count on, but you need it sometimes. There's NVIDIA, nice move up to the upside there, $1 as we still hold on to that one. And then honestly, man, $26 we wrote down here. We said that we needed at least 20 cents on this play. There's 30 cents as Palantir just, honestly, this is going to be, well, no, PL number one is actually Palantir, or is actually NVIDIA, just because of the amount of shares and the confidence that we had in this name over a Palantir. But there goes NVIDIA, man. This is PL number one by far. Today's a monster day. We're even probably having a better day today than we did on Tuesday. Let's just keep on going to the upside. Man, it's so good to be back. I loved having a vacay, but hey, man, vacays are something that are forced around here. It was nice to have one, but there goes NVIDIA. There it goes, 140. Oh man, are we printing? It's Palantir to the money side. It's NVIDIA, man. There it is. Let's go. It's a cash cow, as you know that one, and we just continue to get higher and higher. Wow, what a stock, what a name. The number one trade idea on here. Look what we have written down. Palantir and NVIDIA, trade number 1 and 2. And you know, on this floor, this is PL 1 and 2 today. Palantir and NVIDIA, that's what we're talking about. We're trying to put those up, and we did it again there with NVIDIA. Now $1.70 in the money, Palantir 50 cents. Oh man, it's a good day here today, Neil. Let's go over to the desk with Adara.
New Scale Power, or SMR, here making its 4th consecutive candle on the 3-minute chart here. Nice move on the daily chart as well. Not seeing any news on this name, but it has, you can see here, traded higher over the last few weeks. We do have a smaller market cap, $2.2 billion, and also quite a lot of attention here on social media. So keep an eye on SMR if you're looking for some smaller names. This one trading around $10.50 right now, guys.
For s'more, that's what I'm going to be calling it. So 140 broke. I actually added on the 140 break. I'm out of the 139s. I'm only in 140s on NVIDIA now. So this was the 139. It broke out the 140 level. If we're looking for higher lows, I think you work VWAP. VWAP's 139.5. If it bounces off 140, I'd play that level. So we're going to continue to trend upside there. Tesla, we went and reversed. If 182 is not going to hold, then we'll look for the short off of that level. VWAP's at the $0.50. That's where I'm going to look to get out. So just want to make sure we have our order set to go there. Dell's pretty much, yeah, I'm not even on Dell anymore. Just broke the $160 on Dell. So I think you can stick a fork in Dell. That one looking like it's going to be an absolute rocket ship to the upside. 161 now trading on Dell. We've got two shorts on, but with the market making a bit of a bounce, that's going to be that concern. AMD is still at Friday's highs. Check that. Keep saying Friday. This was Monday's highs. If it does not hold that lower high, or that high, then we just got to jump out of this one. AMD, the best short when it did this move last time wasn't necessarily the first top. You had to be able to catch it on the back end. So I'm willing to stop it out if it makes a fresh top and then try to find another entry on the other side of this trade. AMD has been relatively weak. As far as the longs go, the only one that actually set up and gave the fills was NVIDIA. Dell was the one we loved, and we're just not going to get in that. Has to calm down and give us some kind of a spot.
Man, this has been. What else we got? Palantir, NVIDIA. Okay, well, let's check out some GameStop. Look, we're getting some NVIDIA out here at 140.50. I mean, this is, and again, congratulations, everybody. I see Obi back there has got it as well. So, I mean, everybody on NVIDIA today, and it has to be, right? It is the stock. And again, this is why it's literally been my #1 trade ticker. Remember before NVIDIA split, I said NVIDIA will be my #1 name moving forward. So, I mean, right there, we knew that we liked actionable trades. I feel like we do got some here with NVIDIA. All right, so Palantir is another name. We're trying to get some out. And again, you don't want to be too greedy when you're looking at trades. And good out there at 140.50. We got a bunch of different outs. We can play pullbacks in for sure. But a good trade up for NVIDIA all the way back into pre-market highs where we sat and took it out. So just the fact that you're taking shares out there means you just made this money back. So see this dip buy? I just sold 140.50. You could buy it back right now. Wow, now it's starting to go to the downside. And this is part of the risk about punching levels like that. We did that on Tuesday again. And it's like when it works, great, but then you got to watch out for the backside there, Phil. So back into 140 one more time, bounced off VWAP again there. So yeah, it continues to work here for NVIDIA. And, you know, we really couldn't be happier with these trades, but, you know, there's more to come on all of them. As you know, we had Micron above 150 on Friday. Tuesday, that keeps on going there. Nice downside move right into 150. Oh no. Wow, that was a great trade to be had down there. I didn't even realize it fell that far. So nice move back in for Micron, back down to 150. Great trading there, bouncing off of that bottom. But honestly, man, I mean, NVIDIA. Oh yeah, by the way, NVIDIA, we took $2 on that trade, and we're $0.50 in the money on Palantir.
Mogul's halted here, guys. So it's halted to the downside. It halted once up, it's now halted down. I think this could be your chance if you're looking to buy this one on the dip, which we thought maybe 110 or $1. If it opens back up here, it's 145. VWAP sits at 120. It's a volatility halt, so it'll be open in about 1 minute or so. NVIDIA did a dip. It bounced off VWAP, but it was really quickly. You'll see the wick down here. It tried to hold VWAP. It was like a split second that you had a chance to get in there at about the 70 level. I threw the bid out there, didn't get the fill at 74. Probably 80s would have worked it, but still looking for that lower high to be able to get NVIDIA. AMD pushed through. We got out of that one. I don't think I want back in anytime soon. However, Tesla was different. Tesla wicked out, but it's still holding underneath VWAP. So it's still a little bit downward trending Tesla, making me a little bit more interested in this. So it's one thing to short a pop on a weak stock. It's another one, and you know, AMD got to the level, it blew through it. I want to see some lower highs and confirmation. At least Tesla is still downward trending if it can hold underneath VWAP here. Let's go to the desk. We've got Adara.
Zap EV making new day's highs here, pushing a little bit higher. This one is certainly of note, up 70% up on the day. As you can see here in the daily chart, we actually had a 1 for 20 reverse split in mid-April. News catalyst for this one today, they reported their earnings for the first half of fiscal 2024. Net loss of $5 million, so less of a loss on a year-over-year basis than last year's $8.6 million. Also expecting to start delivering its i300 vehicle in Q4. So nice look here for ZAPP, 1.6 million share float, guys.
Zap.
Zap that one up to the upside there. Okay, so I was actually looking at Disney. We did talk a little bit about this one before. It's trying to break above $101 right now, and it is doing that. We have the 50-period moving average at 101 flat, and we do have the 200 moving average right here as well, as the Nasdaq's trying to get back higher and higher and higher, and NVIDIA is trying to get to those levels as well. So possible dip buy opportunities at 101 and change right there for Disney. I did want to check back in on Google, another name that we were looking at earlier. I want a dip buy opportunity for this, and it is retracing back down into the 200 period moving average right now. So a decent dip buy opportunity available here for Google. Although we are down on this move, still up on the day, bouncing off the 200 period moving average right now is Google. So again, a possible opportunity here for this name, if you like it, to get back involved. I don't know, I was looking for the long at 174, so I wonder if we're gonna be a little bit too early looking right now at Google. So let's be patient. Possible buy opportunity here on Google off of that bottom wick. As we've already seen it had to move up, maybe we could buy at 175.40. Worth trying, but I'm gonna hold off just for a minute here on Google.
You know what? Google's one of the names I actually didn't look at this morning, unfortunately. We're looking a lot at Meta, Apple. Mogul reopened and held basically the open low, $100.29, 129. If this stock gets to $129, there'll be a lot of happy people, and the shorts aren't them. But look, 129, it held it right here at the open. It just put in a bid at 133. So pretty simple, looking for dip buys. If you get VWAP, you get VWAP and you play it there. But catching that bid off of 133. I got the long on the way back up 140s. If it makes that fresh low, it's about 12 to 15 cents worth of risk on the stock. And the high is $1.73, so there's plenty of room to run to the upside. That halt price at 150, I want to get some out at the top of that wick, just in case it fails that halt level. Want to be taking some profit on MGOL. Still looking for the dip buy in NVIDIA, which I think is coming into play right now off of VWAP. So VWAP can hold. That's the dip area for me on NVIDIA. Still not much happening over there in Tesla. Mogul always have a stop. Like, I'm getting out if it breaks that 129. I'm not getting caught in any down halts.
All right, 26. I'm just going to play this back to VWAP. 26, 24 or so. Apparently, everybody's favorite meme investor, Ryan Cohen, looking at stake in Chewy right now. So we'll take, we'll take a little bit of a long here. Again, it's hard to like trust some of these stories, of course, but we'll take it. We're long here at 56. So, not really moving. We'll take a 75 fill. Just went up to 70s. We'll see if that can fill. We'll give it back to VWAP. If it's going to be right, it's going to be, if it matters, it matters. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll take the hit. Not a bad trade, up 2%. We always like to play pullbacks into VWAP. So again, on a news-based story, you kind of hope that you catch the story maybe before it happens or as it's happening. And right now, Chewy, if that is the case, we've seen a lot more volume and a lot bigger moves coming in this name. And again, just to look at CHWY, as we're still in, NVIDIA's not doing anything, so we're going to wait for that. It's still going good. We're still $1.50 in the money on NVIDIA. You know what? Let's take out a piece. Why not? Okay. I just want to check this out. Short photo on Chewy, 13.79%. So a little bit of a catalyst there, not really moving. We did just take we missed it. So we put an offer at 140.10 there for NVIDIA. It's starting to fall back in. NVDA coming back pretty nicely here. We're out of about 70% of Palantir as it went into day's high again, possible reload spot again, but I'm going to wait for the bottom. The market's not healthy today. It doesn't appear to be. So we're going to have lots of opportunities to get back into a lot of these positions. And right now, NVIDIA is pulling back down, man. There it goes. That's, again, one of these issues, pulling back into VWAP as the market does not look super healthy, but it is a nice bounce back there.
Yeah, it's making that VWAP pull, but it does not bounce off VWAP. And if it doesn't bounce off VWAP, then that's not the re-entry for me. I'm out waiting for the 139. I want to see it holding above. I want to see it trending above. Tesla, we're not in Tesla just yet, but that just went the other direction off VWAP as well. I tried grabbing it here on the way down. pretty slick move at 183 for Tesla as it continues to trend into the downside and looking for a VWAP retrace here as well. We probably got it a little bit early and don't want to do the same mistake twice. We'll look for a little bit more of a push where we can get a better price on Tesla here underneath the 183. It's trending down. If the market wants to head down, I think this can still head lower. Let's go to Adara.
Some more details on Chewy here, CHWY. This one actually was trading higher on Tuesday as well. Never a specific catalyst found, but apparently the company's online sales were higher in May. With this story today, though, what I'm seeing is apparently traders have been circulating rumors, so totally unconfirmed and not sourced here, saying that Ryan Cohen could be buying a $3 billion position in the company. So again, rumors, as Sean was kind of stating there, just to restate this, rumors circulating that Ryan Cohen could be buying a $3 billion position in CHWY. Nice look here, guys.
All right, well, we're already, let's just go. I don't care what he's doing. We'll just ring the register right now. We just got 180s. We got 80s. We got 84s right there on this name. So we're long at 57. We talked about that. We punched into it, and there's the outs. We said we were waiting at 75, which we were, and then we got an 84 print as well, as it looked like it was stopping. So I was over there looking at it. So that is Chewy. Let's wait to see if it goes upside again. NVIDIA still trying to bounce off those levels. GameStop. Because we're talking about Ryan Cohen. Let's go over here and quickly look at that one. Oh, wow. We were bidding. Honestly, I'm still here, so I can look. 23.51. It went to 65. Let's see if we are getting a move back in for GameStop. So we still are bidding 23.50, trying to play off of that level. Wow. There goes NVIDIA. Yes, sir. What an awesome day it is today for NVDA. Another one bought that dip off 139.50. If you did do that, that's a 200 period move. We'll take another out at 140.10 right there. Now $1.50 in the money there. 20 cents in the money off a bounce play for Palantir. This is just, we're not at the maximum spot we were at earlier, but things are still holding pretty good. And we were able to get out plus add a new position to our roster with Chewy. So let's just keep this going, man. So far, so good there. And more talking about MGOL. Again, halted right now. So halted to the low. Nice move down to $1.25. Obviously, you'd like to be involved in that short, but right now we were not looking at it. Just now halted. MGOL. Man, NVIDIA and Palantir have been so good, and Chewy trying to make that move as well.
Yeah, there's no free locates on this name, by the way, for Mogul, so we'll probably have to go ahead and pay them. But I said I'm not getting trapped in a down halt. We're long in front of the 128 level. The second it broke, we got out. I actually got the print here at 27s. It halts at 25. It's up to you. I'm never holding through a halt if I can avoid it. But if it bounces off a VWAP, that's got to be a different trade. I don't want to guess that it's going to happen. I want to see it happen at least first. Tesla, just quickly, before I actually pay for these locates, Tesla just came back underneath VWAP. We got this one, at least a little bit of a better entry, I want to say, here off that 182.5. So 182, still a key level. If it bounces off that, I want to make sure I'm taking some profit on the way to the low. Tesla down 1.5% into a flat market. Trending down, want to respect the trend because last I checked, the trend is your friend. I was just on the other side of 182 trying to get some 90s. I'll just stick in here at 182.02 and see if we can get that fill on Tesla. If it stays in this range, we'll do some scalping off of it, and NVIDIA pulling back above and trying to hold on to that VWAP. Apple, it's not at the lows, so I'm not really seeing. The trade for Apple, I think, is going to be off of the lows where it bounced right away at 9:30. It was 212. You go to a 15-minute chart, 212 is a big level for Apple. So I think you got to wait for that as the market is starting to come back in. NASDAQ could go red. If it does, I think you want to be patient, look for the dip buys, try to play that trend in. Tesla settling into a downward move. Apple might be doing the same.
All right, guys, we're, what time is it even? 9:55. Okay, so far we're 3 for 3 today. We have Palantir long at 26. Just trying to get more out now. We have NVIDIA long at 138.60. That's still $1 and change in the money. And then we have Chewy long, which has come back, but we've already cashed out of some of that. So let's wait to see now where it goes. This has just been, honestly, we have something for this. It's just been, just over and over again as we go. We'll see if we can find one more again and drop down some more of this one as we go. Look at AMD, man, up 5 and change, just continuously going here. So happy to be in other names, but for right now, we're at the highest spot we've been at all day. P&L wise, and part of that was because of Chewy giving us those highs, and then NVIDIA, we did not reload it, but still hovering near there. Palantir made its move back. What else you guys want me to look at? Meta, maybe, coming in again. Yeah, where are we on the market? So I'm looking at this, and I might be thinking Meta as a short, actually, right now, to be honest with you. 504, looking to 503 to break a little bit lower. Now for Meta, we actually really nailed this the other day. The thing is that we're already pretty... If I'm gonna go short Meta, let me get something more out here on NVIDIA. All right, so Meta, 502 break lower. We could try this. We're gonna have to hold out for maybe a better price on Meta, as you can get really railroaded here. Let's try to take something at 502. And then I wanted to look at, what is that, 503? Of course, now we're not gonna get it. I just put a 501.99. I actually joined that offer. Now look what's happening. Yeah, want to get something short up here, under VWAP, under the 50, under all of that. I like this one for a short side trade right now today. So yeah, man, Meta, we just missed it. We'll see if we can get it again. 502 is the offer that I have for Meta, but it is coming back in. And as the market comes in, I mean, this is it, man. I don't know if big BPI back there has this or not, but right now it's Palantir long 25.97. It's a big one, man. We're 3 for 3. It's all good today, so we'll just continue to hold it. But watch out, trying to look for more opportunities. It doesn't matter what you've been doing; it's what you're about to do. So let's wait to see what happens here. Chewy, remember where we're going to get out a break of VWAP? Well, I'm still going to use 25s down here. We've already taken out some profit. If this name doesn't work, fine. Good so far for Chewy. Let's just hold out and try to see if we can get Meta on a bounce back to the upside.
Yeah, for what's next, I mean, NVIDIA is still, while the market's heading down, it's still holding VWAP in there. It broke VWAP, we got out of the breakout trade, we jumped back in for a VWAP hold, scalped it out when it got that 50 cents up. It was technically like 60 cents to move, but we got about 50 on it. If it can hold out here, still a bit of a downward trend. I'd like to see it bounce and show some more strength before we get any more shares in there. Tesla is still holding in the other direction. So holding underneath VWAP. Next press up, I'll look for a VWAP fail for a reload on Tesla. MGOL after the down halt. Mogul, it is Mogul, I think. That's what I'm gonna call it. Holding underneath VWAP. The dollar level feels like it's going to come into play. So no bounce off VWAP, which means no trade again for me. But the $1 level, if it can bounce, I think it's a relatively simplistic trade. It did have support here at about 95 cents, so I'd look for it to hold a buck, try to get 1s and 2s on the way back in, and stop it out at 95. Still have Apple trending toward 212. I think it's going to get there at this point. I was just scanning, looking for things that are weak into a weak market, and ARM, which I haven't paid for locates of, still looking a little bit timid, down 2%. I mean, NVIDIA's up 3, ARM being down here, not necessarily great. It's kind of following along with Apple, and it's been strong since Apple's event. So 172 was this support, pre-market lows. It just wicked off the 172 level. That looks like a short to me. I always want to join trends at this time of day around 10 o'clock, and if it's putting in a lower high and down, I want to take that shot on ARM. But first I have to pay for locates, and we've got to go to the desk for happening now.
The markets had a holiday yesterday, but everything is just back to normal. Tons of strength for all of these semiconductors, with NVIDIA continuing to push higher, even after becoming the top U.S. publicly traded company as of Tuesday. So great look for NVDA. Also, we do have a lot of Fed speakers on the horizon. Fed's Cash Kari saying that he thinks it'll take a year or two to get down to that 2% inflation target. We also have Fed's Barkin coming in at 4 p.m., so keep an eye on some Fed speak on a day that's been pretty light for economic data, other than the initial jobless claims and building permits we got this morning. Let's look at some names here, and all of the names we're going to be looking at are going to be some chip names with catalysts, including SMCI, Supermicro, and Dell, both trading higher after Elon Musk said that his XAI supercomputer is going to be built with server racks from Dell and SMCI, so good look for those two. SMCI about 9% to the upside right now. AMD also very strong. Tuesday morning, it was circulating on Twitter that AMD had been the victim of a cyber attack. AMD came out last night saying that there was, quote, no material impact on its business because there wasn't a lot of information access. So AMD up 5.5%. Last but not least, here we do have TSM here, Taiwan Semi. Another chip name here, this one continuing to push to the upside as well. A couple positive analyst-related notes, so a little bit weaker than its peers, but still up about 1+% right now, guys.
All All right, we have a new position. It's Meta, and it's just an ho-hum 70-cent winner right now. We'll wait to see where we go now on Meta, as we just shorted that 502. We talked about that, right? So we actually got it a little bit early. We didn't get that 501.99 fill. We got 501.75. So 71. Sorry. So we'll now wait to see what happens here on Meta. Looking to be hopefully a downside push. I'm not bidding anything till 500, so if it comes in, it will be fantastic, I hope. And then maybe we get a break lower. But hey, for me, if we're gonna try to take $1.50 on the first position, we gotta give this some room back up to the upside. So we'll look to short some more here in and around 503. If, again, we're lucky enough to get something at that level, then that's where we wanna take it. So yeah, everything cruising. Chewy's still there. Is there anything else? We looked at Meta. I don't know. Again, we're waiting for that price. We just got greedy. We could have taken 501s for sure, but hey, I mean, that's why I'm telling you to trade this way. And I put in the chat, like, you could see Neil's positions at the bottom, my positions at the bottom. Right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So again, a little bit of management having to happen here as we go. I mean, let's take out another piece of NVIDIA. I would love for NVIDIA to continue to go higher right now. It is having a problem with 140. We're $1.50 in the money. So let's just hold on here to see what winds up happening. But I am getting another piece out as we've come up to this 140.20, 140.15, like over and over and over again. So we'll see if we can get something out. BTC, yeah, 65,000. Good call there, Sebastian.
Bitcoin's at 65. I mean, Bitcoin has been lagging. I don't know. Lagging is kind of like the right word, I suppose. That's what I want to use there. But yeah, I didn't really look too much at anything except for Mara, and Mara was a 21, looking like a potential breakout. Just very quickly, I said I would get into ARM. ARM did make that pop. We paid for locates. They're dirt cheap here at Real Trading, so shout out to Real Trading. Sometimes you got to pay for them, but usually really, really cheap, less than 1 cent per share. I got 70, 78 here underneath the 71. I was trying to get a little bit more closer to that 172, but as we did not get that fill, I'll look for another place to add. If it bounces off VWAP and holds a higher low, I'll probably just jump out of the trade and then look to reestablish a little bit higher up, closer to that 72. Tesla is making that run at VWAP again. I want something closer to 183, where that local high has been. It's in the spot, right at yesterday's lows, Tuesday's lows, where you want to look for the curl, but the best fills have been over VWAP into the 183 level here on Tesla. So that's what I will hold out for on this name. MGOL, we did want, you know, you can want to bounce all you want off $1. It just bounced off 110, so we just have to be patient with it. No need to jump out in front of it. If it's going to continue lower under VWAP, then the $1 level can come to us. We look for a bounce off the first top level, the second it broke, we get out. I just want to make the same type of play here, but off the $1 even. So no need to rush into this just yet. Or back into it, because we're already in it once.
Yeah, we just took a little bit more shares on Meta here at 501.70, so it's still our same price, 501.69 actually. We got a little bit of a worse price right there. So let's just see now what winds up happening. Here, I'm pretty excited about this play. So we are now bidding where am I bidding here? 501. All right, so it's gonna have to slam down. Look at the spread though. Remember, we talked about this on Tuesday, where this can get quite spready. So one little push down through 501 and we'll get that fill, but let's just wait for it as you know, a little bit of a tricky idea there to try to get that fill. So we'll wait. We need a slam down for that. There it is. Come on. One more slam right here and we'll take 70 cents. There it is. Yes, sir. 4 for 4 today. Right now, as we'll throw it up here, as we've been having diamond hands, trying to hold on to the best positions that we have. And if we're able to do that, then hopefully success will be forthcoming. Nice move downside now for Meta, as there it is. It's another one. We took $2 in the money on NVIDIA. It's $1 right now on Meta. We're 50 cents in the money on Palantir. I mean, today, guys, I know it sounds like a broken record, but another good day. I mean, I just hope that you can see all of the trades, obviously, that we're putting on. I don't hope that you can. And you can ask us questions in the chat about any of the trades, why we got out, what's going on with them, and if we're looking at anything else, right? So keep those stuff going. Make sure you like and subscribe everything that we do here, and so you can get notified when we have new things that's going on. And of course, on the midday show today, Sharif is sick again, and we will be subbed in with Obi, I believe, on the midday show. So thanks, Obi, for being,
Hope so.
Hey, man, so do I. This is what happens when, we're sick around here. So we'll try to do our best to come in. Neil's obviously here with this Achilles, and we are here every single day that the market is open, and that's why we were not here yesterday. Palantir still here. I might take this another opportunity right now. Oh, we can't. Did we get filled? Okay, good. We got something there at 46. Sometimes it depends on the gateway you use, whether or not you get filled or not. But with this much volume, 17 million shares, so far so good here on that one. NVIDIA moving, Chewy moving, Meta. Good thing we got that fill. We're still waiting for 502. So if that comes back in, then we'll get that. Brad, you want the money for your short? Then you got it right there. Today's going to be a good day for us here. So far, we'll be holding this as our second place, because I got to give a big congratulations to the man who's killing it in the back there. He is the leader. He is the leader of all of us. He is the man. He is the myth. He is the legend. And I got to give a big congratulations and a big bang up for Brankles putting up numbers today. So that obviously means a lot there to everybody behind us, because Brankles puts in a heck of a lot of time teaching everybody, and it's great to see some numbers being put up there. So congrats, Brankles, there in the back, as we'll just continue to sort of do as we've been doing here today, waiting for opportunities. Intel might be another one. We're gonna check back in on Disney in a couple minutes.
Yeah, NVIDIA just lost support, so we'll go over it just a quick little second here. I gotta get to ARM as well, as that's starting to drop back in. VWAP hold, we scalped it out. It cannot hold on to VWAP. It made this bounce off 139.5 once. When I saw it happen again, we jumped back in. So just looking for levels to establish. Once it made a fresh low, I jumped out of the trade. We're still short Tesla and ARM. We'll go to Tesla first. ARM is a little bit safer. Tesla did a wick shimmy. I'm using Sharif's term in his lieu. You know what, it doesn't matter what you call it. It wicked the top at 183 and then immediately, instantly retraced. So, if I'm sitting there at that point 1 for 3 on the short, but it's still a short, then I just jump back into the trade. You just have to. It is what it is. If a setup's there, a setup's there. It doesn't matter. The stock doesn't care that you're 1 for 3.
Whoops. Oh, no.
Really, the market and the stock don't care. Jumped right back in at the same price on the way back down and just got 182. So we're right back into the same trade. ARM is tanking now. A little bit into the low of the day. We took some out at VWAP. I did make an attempt to get in again on ARM, but we didn't. So the low of the day is down at 166. If you see me moving around, I just have to find comfortable positions, that's all. I'm gonna be doing some squirming, I'm fine. But I want this 166.5 bottom. If it bounces off that, we're gonna take the profit on ARM and run. The way that I've successfully traded ARM has been when it makes a bottom, I get out, and it's a defined low like this. So sometimes it's too early for a lot of people, but when I see it already make a bottom that's significant, like this 167 area, I'm taking this profit. I'm not gonna look this $3 in the mouth. I've got a trailing stop for 50 cents, and I have a bid out at that low of the day.
Yeah, it looks like a good trade there. It looks like we are starting to get to the downside here on a lot of these names. We just put in some shares here on NVIDIA, so let's see if this one wants to go. We are $1 in the money, obviously, on Meta, as that's trying to go. Chewy, by the way, we tried to change our stop order, and instead I executed immediately at the current price. So we bought back in, but it's right down at the 50-period moving average. So Chewy could fall on its face and do absolutely nothing. But we loaded it up, man. And this is the thing. If I'm gonna write down NVIDIA 138 and it gets down there, then you damn well know what's gonna happen. We're gonna put some shares on, so let's go. Again, nice trade, hopefully to the back upside here for NVIDIA, but if it breaks 138, then we're gone, which is why we just averaged out. We put on our biggest amount of shares in one individual moment down there at 138.25. So far, so good on that hold back in upside for NVDA. Oh, and by the way, $2 on Meta right there as we get 500. Let's see what's happening now to the downside there on Meta. Hopefully more downside. But you know what? We have many more shares on NVIDIA, so if this one can climb back up, that would even be better. So right now we are long at 138.30 here on NVIDIA. Would be nice to get this back, but Who knows if it's going to or not, but we did look at 138. If it breaks 138, we're out. So 30 cents worth of risk here plus slippage. Looks like it's going to come in right now. There it goes. It's going to lose 138, I feel like. I don't know if there's been news on something, but
the market just took out the bottom.
Yeah,
20,000 could come into play. I think it's red to green on the green to red on the Nasdaq. Was the acceleration to the downside. Just come to my chart for a quick second.
This is so good.
It broke overnight lows, obviously, and you're headed down to the 20,000 level over here on the Nasdaq. As I said, I'm trailing this arm all the way down to what is the bottom. This is the low. So yeah, it is what it is. Arm is falling like rock. It's down like down 5% now. I'm taking it out at the bottom because that's what works for my trading style. Sometimes I have tight stops. Sometimes we take targets, hold from one level to the next level. But 71 down to 65 half, we'll take it. Tesla is continuing to flush to the downside, but it's not nearly as weak as ARM is. But we had to take a couple of hits there on Tesla, and if it hits the low of the day, I'm thinking the 180 level instead of this 180 and a half. So 180 and a half is the current low, but I'm looking for the 180 level here on Tesla. The only thing I am now left in is it works back to the downside. Technical break on the futures, but you know what? For all of that, Apple didn't break the low. So we play patience game with Apple. Probably wrong, maybe. I thought 212 was going to be a thing and the market would take us down toward it. Apple putting in some higher lows. If these futures bounce from here, I think Apple's going to look like an intriguing long. But until then, we're just going to have to back off, wait for the level to come. If it wants to bounce off the low, that's 50 cents from now. You don't want to jump in too early. If it's got a $1.50 range, then 50 cents is going to matter on something like Apple. So I do still want the lows or that 212 even level. I'll check back in on ARM. I would want to short a pop back into VWAP if we can get it, but that's a good $3 away. So let's let it make the move, and then we'll adjust to the move as it happens.
All right, we'll stay positive on NVIDIA, but it did drop through 138. So that last take there, I didn't even look at the price we got because I think it was fine. We got 88s on the break, so that's pretty good. We're able to take that. That's where it is right now. So if you're not out of it, and we're looking to see what I was doing, I'm out of it. So we talked about that. Again, that's why we have those restrictions on our price targets and limits and stuff like that, because if it breaks, we want to make sure that we are obviously out of those names when that does happen. So, all right, that's fine. So far, so good. Not great. We'll wait to see what happens here as we're still just sort of on the Mendoza line here with NVIDIA. Palantir, good. We're almost out of that. We actually have like less than 5% left on George Springer. We've already talked about that. That guy needs to be just taken out the back and put somewhere else. All right, 164, but like you said, hopefully we'll bring up some guys to fill in. Oh, is that guy we brought up an outfielder at least?
He can play the outfield.
Okay, well,
I will tell you. Okay,
he will.
I'm gonna say this. This kid that the Blue Jays brought up, he's my size. I saw him in spring training. His name was Relvis Martinez. When he was taking batting practice in spring training, this guy is my size. When you heard the ball off the bat, it's just different. You could close your eyes and know if he was hitting. Okay. He's got serious pop. Don't judge a book by its cover. I think we're gonna like this kid in the strikeout a lot. Alfonso Soriano is what he reminds me of, but he can't really run that fast. So if we're gonna get a short pop in here on ARM, obviously this has been my best stock, so it's a place I want to go back to because not everything else has been as clean. Where it's like just get it in, see the confirmation, add to it back when it wicks that price, no bounce off VWAP, and you see how weak it was going into the bottoms. I'd like to see VWAP back, but if we're not getting VWAP, I don't know what the play is going to be on that stock because I have to watch for a level to come in for me. What I can do, if the market's going to continue trending down, is look at something that we do like. And a couple of people have mentioned Intel to me, like, what do you think of Intel? My first thought was, I bet you we can short that if the market's weak. Well, Intel is putting up higher lows, and it's at VWAP. So that makes no sense to me, except for the fact that when everything else is weak, Intel's strong, and when everything else is strong, Intel's weak. So I don't think I see a short unless it's right off this $31 level, which I had marked off. I've had 31 marked for a while, so I know it was pretty irrelevant when I wasn't here on Tuesday. Just note that I marked that off before it made that breakout that I guess you guys would have traded through on that name. So 31, I'd only short that one. And it looks like I've drawn the mustard cup after getting the red. Right. Yeah, this is literally McDonald's, like the mustard yellow and the ketchup red. It's exact colors. Well, you know what? If McDonald's wants to sponsor the show, I will eat a Big Mac live on this program every single day and have no trouble with it.
Wow, no,
when
that's
I
a
found-
very bold statement. Yeah, I think a lot. I mean,
I'm not making this up.
Like the
So
Big Macs.
I wasn't feeling that great about myself when I tore my Achilles. And the first thing I'm like, you know what? I'm eating comfort food at home. I'm like, yeah, I'm making a McDonald's apple pie because that thing is so delicious. It is the best value on that menu as well. That McDonald's apple pie, serious value. I had that. I had a egg BLT because that's delicious. No mayo because I don't like mayo. And I also had a Big Mac because that's how I roll.
Yeah, man, that's good. Yeah, so you gotta treat yourself.
Although I am gonna eat way better because I'll be pretty sedentary. But I'm not shorting Intel till we get to 31. That's the next one here. As far as Apple goes, the reason why you've got to, this is why you're patient. Because you're looking for a bounce here, but if it does a blow through, you don't have to be long. Just because I like the 212 level doesn't mean I have to sit on the bid. There was nothing there. It didn't care that it was what little size was there. It didn't care. It blew through it. So we're just gonna have to wait for it to make another bottom at this point. So we're only in Tesla short. It's not really trending as weakly as Apple was, but it's down 2 points. We've had to play it a couple of times. I'll look for this to maybe get down to the 180 level before we get out. And NVIDIA's not nearly at that one. For me, the only levels after it doesn't hold these pre-market lows would be Tuesday's tops. That's 135 half into 136. So if we sit at $1 or $2 on NVIDIA, if we can catch the bid, it should be pretty good. Mike Korean, what up? Member for 36 months, 3 years. Is that so? 3-year anniversary. Congratulations to you, Big Mike, out there. Deep value apple pie. I'm a big believer in value. Like if there's a couple of things that are good on the menu and I like them both, I'm gonna split the difference on the one that's gonna satisfy me the most out there. And that's an apple pie almost every single time as a dessert. Don't get that McFlurry. The pie's better. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, one of the longest. I think that's one of the longest. Longevity as far as their menu.
Well, obviously the regular.
Yeah, and like something that they've never really. You're right, because they've never really changed the price of those. They're always like 2 for $1.
Well, you know what my concern is with Apple right now, or not Apple, with McDonald's. Yeah. These price wars. So everyone's doing this like McDonald's,
We're long
Wendy's.
down, by the way.
Yeah, they're basically all doing this like drop the price $5 menu stuff where prices are going up. That's not necessarily good to get into a war. I mean, McDonald's maybe tactically can get away with it, but I'd be concerned when some of these fast food places are having to do these battles. Who can do the lowest price on their value meal? That's going to burn into some profits in there, so that could be a bit of a, I guess, headwind is what the term I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think McDonald's needs. I agree with you, but I think
Speaking of
they
headwinds,
need to do that for sure.
Your boy ran a 992.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter really until the Olympics, right? We'll see. When is that? When is
Paris
right now?
Paris is coming up soon.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if he can hold form, he might be a sneaky bet for a bronze. He won't be gold. He might be a sneaky bronze bet, but I want to see how he runs the first round. Talking about the defending Olympic champion, who's an Italian.
Right. Everyone knows the fastest people in the world are Italian.
So look, NVIDIA is getting down to this level. 136. 135 half was the close. We're $1 away. That's the only place I'm looking for the dip here. And NVIDIA. And Anurag, we'll have a look at Nikola maybe a little later. I didn't realize it's down 22%. That could be something. I don't know why Nikola would be down 22%, to be honest.
Probably because...
No, I'm being facetious. I know exactly why Nikola's down 22%, because it's Nikola.
Yep, exactly. That sounds ridiculous, but that's probably right. I mean, EV space, not a great space to be in right now. I thought chips were a good name to be in. Oh, by the way, we're long Dell, but I don't know for how long. Dell came back into 150.
What?
So we're long Dell right now at 150. I was just looking down, I was like, okay, that just came in real quick. Like right now, Meta still at $1. Meta's actually not falling with the market, so it looks like that's short as opposed to Neil's ARM. Meta not really doing anything. ARM and the chip names are the ones. Look, we just tried 137. It was actually pretty good. We actually got a 138 retracement bounce, but then NVIDIA trying to go red, and I'm actually thinking about 136 now as a level to see if we could support. I'm gonna put a bid now down into here, see it, so we'll just take a little bit of a long right now. I was gonna say green to red on NVIDIA, as Neil just mentioned. That's down here to 135.50. So I want to just see about a 135 move. So it's gonna suck right now because we're not in it. We're just in it now. If it falls down, you can see we do have stacked offers there. There was some 200s there to come through. So right now we're long NVIDIA. We're 50 cents. We're at almost $1. Now back in the money to the long side. Let's take something out. We offered 94 and didn't even get filled there. So there it is. There it is. Good. So we're back in the money now. 70 cents on this NVIDIA fill. Let's see if it wants to get a little bit higher, as we'll see if we can sort of lick the wounds from this recent move down, buying 136 flat, and on Dell as well. But if Dell loses 149, we're gone. I mean, we said that this was going to be good news today.